Good morning, I'm Matthew Maud from Maud Design, and this is day 5 of the UK lockdown and my conversation around remote working. Today I want to change pace ever so slightly and talk about structuring your organisation. This is particularly going to be valuable to small organisations, small businesses, charities, voluntary-based organisations, churches, that sort of thing. I want to talk today about your communication strategy, and particularly I want to advocate a dedicated messaging platform. There's many available, but we'll get to that. Firstly, what I want to do is talk to you about a common problem in the workplace, whether you're from a large organisation or otherwise, and that is the overwhelming full inbox. We've probably all experienced this at some point in time. The sheer volume of communication that you need to sift through can be quite daunting, whether it's the family WhatsApp thread or your work inbox. Sometimes trying to find the crucial piece of information that you need for the task at hand, or simply to maintain the external communication of your organisation, can be really overwhelming. So what I want to propose is that we split up the communication that we deal with into separated channels. So in most instances, you could summarize, and again, this is just my thoughts on the subject from years and years of working with small organizations. You could split up your communications into the following. Public communication. So this is people that you haven't engaged with before, don't have any prior relationship with your organization, and they want to get in touch either because it's about an inquiry, perhaps they're a potential lead, maybe they just wanted some information about who you are and what they do. This is what I deem public communication. And what you might want to do is separate that out into a generic inbox. Some organizations might even choose to use a ticketing system or a CRM for this, and you might want to dedicate this to something like an info @ or an office @ email address. The next tier of communication is what I deem external communication. So this is still outside of your organization, but this is someone where they specifically are trying to contact you, the individual, because they have a need for you, they've been directed to you, perhaps they have a lead, perhaps you already have a prior working relationship with this individual. And this is where it can be helpful for their communication to arrive specifically to you. So this might be your first name dot last name at your organization domain. So that's the second tier of communication. The third tier is going to be internal. This is where there's a specific, perhaps you're a department head, perhaps someone has a specific thing for you, piece of information for you from another department, and this is dedicated to you. This is where, even if you're not in an external role in your organization, you need somewhere where you can handle the communication that comes to you. And then I want to talk about a fourth tier, which is conversational. This is where someone just needs to bat around an idea or something related to your role, or just they want to clarify something. This is where I recommend that an internal dedicated messaging channel is of value. And in particular, I spend a lot of time trying to advocate establishing a dedicated channel with small organizations. One of the questions I regularly get fielded to me is, why can't we just use our WhatsApp group or our Facebook Messenger chat? And what I want to suggest to you is to think more strategically and deliberately about your team and the value that you assign to them, but also the nature of your business and the fact that sometimes it's woefully inappropriate from a GDPR perspective for you to be discussing work things in a public channel. I'll paint a picture for you now. So let's say For example, you need to discuss a sensitive piece of information around one of your clients. Okay, that client has agreed, they've, starting again, that client has offered, that client has given permission to you as an organization to serve them in one way or another. However, what they've not done is given permission for their information to be shared with everyone's personal Facebook account or their personal phone number. It's very important that their information stays dedicated within an organization channel, not someone's individual WhatsApp thread. The other thing you need to consider is your team members. Particularly in larger teams, team members have not necessarily given permission for their phone number or their personal Facebook account to be shared with the wider team. Let's say your team crosses many different generations. It's just not fair on your team members to need to be able to relinquish control of their personal phone number to be used as an organization communication tool. And this is where a dedicated channel comes in. There are many different kinds of them. Sorry, I get the sense that I'm waffling now at this point. My apologies to you. There are many different types. You can have glip, you can have gulp, you can have, no, not gulp, that's a pre-processor, it's a pre-compiler for SAS, excuse me. But you've got Slack. I'm particularly a big advocate of using Slack in particular because they offer a number of very valuable tools available for free for smaller organizations. And what Slack allows you to do is to create an organizational workspace that effectively sandboxes your communication from any personal means of communication that you may otherwise be operating within. It allows one-to-one direct communication, but it also allows communication for teams within channels, dedicated channels for one subject, for one department. It's very, very valuable for you to uphold the value of your workers and to respect their personal lives. It also allows you to control your notification settings and decide when you're going to be interrupted. But it also ensures that if you need to uphold a privacy policy or security for the kind of nature, sorry, I'm really waffling today. My apologies. The clocks have changed. Feels like a train has hit me. But it allows you to keep it dedicated in one place so that you can come at one specific time and find the information that you need and communicate with your team in a way that values them, values their time, and ensures that they won't be interrupted outside of the work day with a huge thread of ongoing conversation that doesn't need to interrupt them outside of the working day. So there are my thoughts. I appreciate that I've waffled on for about 8 minutes so far, and I got a bit rambly there. My apologies. I hope that you have a great day. You'll find that I'm now distributing this conversation on YouTube, so feel free to subscribe or like. But have a good day, stay at home, and stay in touch.